Hello, Greg.
Hey everybody, welcome to the channel and welcome to Project Athena. Tonight's the night, it's Sunday, it's time to, do whatever we do here on Project Athena. We would like to welcome you all and back to the super happy fun time that we have here at Project Athena. It's always a laugh a minute. Some people they say, why go to Carnival when you could come every week to Project Athena? It is equally as fun, equally as uplifting as Carnival. But before we get into Carnival, we have to know who is walking in the parade. And so let's go around and see who's floating, see who's dancing, see who's throwing beads. Let's start up with Lauren because she is from the Big Easy. How are you doing tonight, Lauren, and who will you be playing?
Oh, I'm doing about as great as I am every week here on Project Athena. My favorite thing to do. That's genuine. I'm just laughing out of delight and terror. Hi, I'm playing Sabella Ives. Psychic. That I did it. Nailed it. Psychic. And of course, she is currently in her favored terrain, the shower. So it's gonna be a good night. Let's go.
That's right, which gives her a bonus to all of her advantages to something like that. Let's jump down to I don't see any fingers on noses, so I'm going straight to Lindy. Lindy, how are you doing this evening, and who will you be playing?
Oh, I am doing super duper duper spiffy. I've been looking forward to this all week since last week, because last week was amazing. I had so much fun. I got to play Doctor with Dietrich, Dr. Dietrich. It's gonna be super fun, happy times all today. And we missed Strider last week, so I'm super happy he's back with us this week. And yeah, I will be playing Greta von Kraus, the not on death's door anymore, but still pretty wounded doctor of the party slash genetic scientist kind of thing. It's great. She's having a kind of a bit of a meltdown right now, but everything else is great.
Right, I mean, you take the good, you take the bad. To get the meltdown, you had to have the meltdown to get the Dr. Dietrich.
It's
so,
true.
Though I walked through the valley of death, something like that. Right, let's jump over now to Allison. Allison, how are you doing this evening, and who will you be playing?
Hey everybody, it's Allison. I play Kate O'Callahan, aviatrix extraordinaire, princess of the skies, America's flying sweetheart. And I'm doing great, Greg. I just, I often wish that our viewers, both live and on YouTube, could be with us kind of in the virtual green room when we're getting ready, because there's so much love there. In fact, right before we started tonight, I just was kind of overcome, and I said, I just want you all to know how much I love you, despite what I'm about to do in game. So buckle up, Buttercup. Here we go.
Am I the Buttercup, or is it a collective Buttercup that's going out? I'm good either way, but I want to know whether or not to have more pride or have to share it. So you go ahead and think about it as we jump straight up to none other than the comedic sniper who is going to take it on the road. Next scene at Carolyn's Comedy Hour. How are you doing, Steve, and who will you be playing this week?
I need a brick wall behind me. I'm doing great.
Right.
I'm going to go back to your first question. If I was in a parade Mardi Gras setting, I would be really drunk and throwing beads all over the place. So I am ready to go for this. I've been excited all week. I'm not sure. I'm going to follow suit with Allison because I'm not quite sure what I'm going to wing it, as Dwight would say, because he's not quite sure what he's going to do at this point. He'll probably follow suit into the chaos if that is where it is, because his mindset is not the best right at the moment.
Okay. I mean, fair. It's very fair. So just remember, whenever you're defaulting to exactly what to expect from Dwight, just remember, drunk and beadless. And we go back now to the returning man of the silver-tongued hour, our very own brother in arms and brother in love, Strider. Welcome back, and who will you be playing tonight?
I feel like this is well overdue. The family is back together, and it sounds like they're all super cozy and super happy fun time, as Greg put it. So I shall endeavor to be as Elijah and live in the moment and enjoy it, because him and I both know that, at least as far as Elijah's concerned, good things never last, especially when these people are around. So.
Right. They are good at killing Nazis and good times, and there's a target-rich environment here. So we'll see exactly which prey is the first to get hung up on the wall. You guys are slowly turning into Lancaster. But before we get into that, I'd like to let you all know that tonight we will be experiencing a bit of the social interaction, the chat interaction that we have here. Several of the channels do so. We do it here too on Project Athena. If you want to get involved, look straight down and you will see the ability to provide advantages and critical successes for the players that you see here. In addition, if you would like to put more of your fingerprint on the mythos that is Project Athena, this Pulp Cthulhu setting, that you can go ahead and, boy, I love the mirror game, Strider, that we always seem to have whenever you're back. But, if you want to go in and you want to actually have something or add to the terror, as we say, we're going to see a little bit of that tonight as Lord Conti has worked something up for the cast here, and it is fantastic. But if you want to, even if you want to become an Olympian, there is the ability to do so. Take a look at that. Also, if you haven't followed yet, to incentivize your following, I will show you these. These are Call of Cthulhu Horror on the Orient Express dice, straight from Gen Con. Any followers from when I got back, actually a week before I got back, to the middle of September, you get a chance at not only those Call of Cthulhu dice, but another set of dice, just for joining us here and getting notifications when we go live to do these shenanigans. But before we go on, we have to go back to go forward. And so this is what happened last week on Project Athena. Last week on Project Athena, the crew came through the Purple Nowhere one more time, and they were gifted with a sight of being transported or transposed to the border between Switzerland and Germany, and there before them was a majestic castle. Without having any type of point of reference as to where exactly they were with this castle, they knew it was Joseph Dietrich's. And so, with a very wounded Dr. Greta von Krauss and no other real option, they went forward. And we got some things coming in, and we got subscriptions and great stuff. And so they progressed forward. They met two mounted Joseph Dietrichs, one of them with very long hair and a beard, the other with kind of longer hair. They agreed to take Greta ahead to the castle for medical attention. They also took Elijah with them, as he did not want to leave Greta's side. As we fast forwarded into the castle proper, we saw that the entire place was filled with Dietrichs. They were absolutely everywhere. There were reading nooks that were set up throughout the course, where 2 or 3 leather-bound chairs were put aside right near a bookcase or several bookcases. And the sniper, Dwight Burke, was able to spot that each of these little stations had one particular topic in which their books were adhered to. It seemed to be a point where these Dietrichs would go, learn about one particular thing, move on, become experts in it. That was not gleaned. They went upstairs and everybody was given the option of medical attention, a change of clothes, something to eat. Everybody took a little of each, as Greta was immediately whisked into one of the infirmary curtain-drawn rooms and attended to. Throughout the course of her attention, the Dr. Dietrich that was working on her confided in her a bit of perhaps occupational envy, as he seems to have some rudimentary serums that aided her in that promoted and accelerated her own healing. And as these serums were administered, there was an exchange of, well, a little bit backseat doctoring on Greta's part, but for the most part, everything was pretty on the level. The one real bit of information that this Dr. Dietrich gave to Greta, was that Dietrich Prime, the one that the rest of these clones call the Father, had every intention of bringing Greta to the castle, protecting her from the powers that be. Unfortunately, the agent that he sent to collect her was killed. and that offer was never made. Now, as we go over to the other group, we had Dwight Burke, who was seated with what he affectionately called Bald Dietrich. It was Dietrich with a shaved head, but Dwight went ahead and called him Bald Dietrich. They seemed to exchange a bit of the soldier or the rough and tumble together, as soldiers are wont to do. They drank, they got drunk, and they proceeded to ask each other questions about whether or not they were in control of their own situations. It seems that Bald Dietrich was cheerful enough, especially when given a joke at the nation of France's expense. And as we peeled away from them, we went down to the showers. Surprise, everybody, where Sabella Ives had elected to go. It was in this shower through the course of the trip and a little bit afterwards that she met Poet Dietrich. Poet Dietrich claimed not to know too much, other than he was given the task of looking through the poetry and history to see if there was some type of relation to the current events that were going on. When given his book to do a reading, Sabella Ives was able to see that not only was the man true to his word as far as what he was researching with this book, he did, however, have a photograph of Sabella Ives that he used as a bookmark. Now, saving the best for last, in the galley, we have one Kate O'Callahan, who was escorted there by Clothing Dietrich, the Dietrich that was assigned to give them all a good change of clothes, enough that would suit to both the cold and to their personal tastes. Clothing Dietrich, while seeming to be nice enough, Kate O'Callahan had wanted none of it. And as he was forced to stir the sauerkraut in silence, while Kate ate in an empty galley having been cleared by Clothing Dietrich, it wasn't until the end of the episode that when Kate kind of blindly passed her plate up to be cleaned, it was Dietrich Prime, the one known as the father, the Dietrich that is in his 50s, that took the plate and wondered what it was they should talk about. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we're going to begin this episode of Project Athena, as we are still in Castle Dietrich. We are still surrounded by no fewer than, right around 200 Dietrichs, not counting Dietrich Prime, the man from whom they all sprung, his loins birthed them, whatever, something of that nature. So we're going to start with the galley, because it's only fitting that we begin where we ended. And Dietrich Prime says, "So, Miss O'Callahan, what should we talk about?"
Kate's eyes come up from the plate that she's handing to him. And it takes her just a moment to recognize that the one who she'd been told was not going to arrive until morning is actually here. At which point, she lets go of the plate. Her hand drops to the holster at her side. She pushes back from the table and takes aim and fires off as many shots as you'll let me, as she pushes back to get some distance.
You're within 10 feet of Dietrich Prime, so that gives you the ability to fan the hammer. Are you going serpent gun here, or is this...
45.
The 45? Go right ahead.
Let's see. I have 5 crits to play with. But I tell you what, let's do this, shall we? Oh my god. So we can just ignore the last one, which is a fumble, but we'll take the extreme in the middle. How's that?
I quote a very wise a parable, if you will, or a prophecy, if you will, from the 80s. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life. And so, as you shoot, the first shot completely misses Dietrich as it zips past, the bullet zips past, strikes one of the copper pots behind him, makes a hell of a racket as it gets knocked off of the hanger that it's on and hits the stonework. He doesn't flinch as the second shot comes in, but what we're going to do is, we're going to combine the second and the third shot, and we're going to go with a wash, as what would have been a critical hit is offset by 100, which is a critical failure, which in my book means nothing happens, as the 2 remaining bullets each go wide as well, zipping around him as he doesn't move. The very last shot making his hair on his shoulders kind of puff up to the side. So is this what we are going to talk about? Firearms.
Kate's screaming, just screaming rage as she pushes back. And as soon as she realizes that she's completely missed, she lowers it and she begins just looking around the room, and she's ranting at this point. I hate you. God, I hate you so much. Why would you not die? And she just kind of over and over and over again. And she's looking very carefully around the space as she's doing this. I have a question for you, Mr. Keeper, sir, and that is the very large range that's used to feed all these Dietrichs. What fuels it? It's not natural gas by any chance, is it?
It is not. It is, unfortunately, as you asked this question before, I thought I would default when I was making the castle to this as well. It's a wood-burning stove. I'm never giving you a fucking house to blow up. Ever. No, at some point I will, but not today.
Just a room. Come on.
Just a room.
All right, so I'm gonna just do a quick, can I do a spot hidden in the room just to see what else maybe I see, or an idea roll or something?
I tell you what, if you can roll one of them, I will allow you to roll a spot hidden for visual information. I will allow you to roll an idea roll for something else.
Okay, I'm gonna take the idea roll,
Mm-hmm.
which is a regular success.
Right. Also, we had several cheers come in. We had one quick thing. Prax gave 500 bits, so an Olympian is going to get a boon because of Lord Conti. I think what we will do here is I would like all Olympians to roll a luck roll for me. Whoever gets the lowest luck roll, please let me know. And then the Mint Magician has also sent in 500 bits, and we're going to do the same thing again. So if everybody, once we decide the first one, we're going to do the second one. And thanks also to Techno Nomadic for the cheer, appreciated very much. Pick somebody to give an advantage to, Techno, and I will do so because I'm super nice. Okay,
That's my second fumble of the night, by the way.
Yeah, it's a good one. It looks like Lindy?
Greta.
Okay, so Greta, you will get a boon coming up. I will figure out what that boon will be. Olympians, please do that all again, as we have some wonderful people in chat that are very worried about Lord Conti and want to help you. So we will...
Is that a third time, Greg?
Just a second. Just
Okay,
you guys,
yeah, that was the one I fumbled.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think it's me that time.
Looks like Sabella. So our doc and our psychic each are entitled to a boon coming up. And when we get that boon, I will let you know what it might be whenever the opportunity presents itself. So we go back down and we want to do an idea roll, correct?
I got a regular success on the idea roll.
Okay. So when you... Here's your... It's not a very illuminating idea, but Dietrich doesn't seem real upset that you're shooting at him. He's a bit surprised that you missed, but he doesn't seem overly worried about your weapon of choice.
So after a good rant, she's just sort of panting a little bit and just kicks up a bucket across the galley, and it kind of rattles around the walls. And then she just turns and stares at him.
He looks and waits for you to kind of calm down a bit, and he says, the pressures of being the leader are not to be envied.
Mm-hmm.
would very much wish to talk to you, but I think first we must address why you feel you hate me so much.
Because you're a goddamn devil, that's why.
We have never met.
Trust me, Mr. Dietrich, I've met enough of you to know. I mean, I hate to sort of fall back on stereotypes, but I feel pretty secure in this opinion.
I should say that this is the first time we've been in the same room.
Your point is what exactly?
First off, Technomatic gave an advantage to Dwight. So, Dwight, you have an advantage. And my point is, Miss O'Callahan, you do not know me. Nor do I know you truly.
You were at one point an officer in the Nazi army, is that right?
That is not right. Perhaps we should sit.
Just caught a bit off guard by that. Why should I believe you?
You shouldn't. I would not believe me. I have a very difficult public relations department.
Well, all right then. That puts us right back where we started, and I'm on more comfortable ground. And she raises the 45 back.
This will not get us anywhere, but if it makes you feel better to shoot and know for sure that you cannot kill me, please go ahead and do so.
Kate stares down the barrel of the 45 for just a second, and then just throws it at him full force, and I'll crit the throw roll.
He crits it back as he catches it.
God damn you.
I have 3 of those.
Fucking bastard.
It is a good weapon, though it is American made.
She reaches down and dons the serpent gun and aims that at him. How about this one? I'm not sure who made it, but I like it so far.
You shouldn't. Both. You shouldn't shoot it and you shouldn't like it. How about instead, and he reaches behind the counter and quickly pulls up a mug. Perhaps we should duel with coffee, or tea, or something else. And then if you feel like you must shoot me with this weapon, then fire away. Or we could fight to the death. We could go outside and I could arrange for some lightning or something, and we could, make it as biblical as possible.
You are positively the most frustrating man I have ever met in my life, and I've known a few.
Again, we have never met.
Oh, trust me, this last 5 minutes is enough. All right.
It's good to know I still have it.
Her hand drops to her side. What do you want to say?
Cream or sugar?
Both, please.
Then we like the same things. Already something in common, Miss O'Callahan. Cream and sugar. It is my father used to tell me that you could always tell someone from what they put in their coffee is the same as yours, then at least you have something to start the day with. And he goes over and pours 2 cups of coffee, adding both cream and sugar. He does not ask, but puts in 2 cubes of sugar for both cups, a splash of cream, takes a small spoon out, spins them both into a tan, comes over, and extends one over to you.
I take the cup from him.
Yeah, we are starting something. I believe it is called a conversation.
Oh, we're starting something, Mr. Dietrich.
So, what should we talk about? And let's cut back up to the infirmary wing, but not to Dr. Greta von Krauss, as we are going to cut across the hall and a bit catty corner to a curtained room where Elijah Sawyer has been placed inside. He does not have a Dietrich with him, nor has he had a Dietrich with him for a good 10 minutes. There is, however, a neatly stacked in his size pile of clothing that matches what goes for the general uniform around here. It looks like a pair of hunting trousers, sort of like a multi-pocketed safari-esque shirt, each the trousers of a khaki, the shirt of a lighter color. Not all of them are wearing this, but it's kind of, they probably got it in bulk, and as they all wear the same size, they might have got a discount from a whatever clothing place made these for them. But those are there. So what have you been doing in these last 10 minutes, Elijah?
Elijah may not have been staying entirely in the one room. He'll put the Dietrich clothes on. He is a very thin boy, so maybe a little bit big on him. But he's tall enough, so if they fit all right, he might be trying to make a little mental map of the area, or at least trying to remember how he got in, what twists and turns they took to get
Sure, it was
from the front.
Yeah, it was pretty straightforward, and without any type of roll, Elijah would be able to remember and be able to retrace his steps. Now, if you're looking to try to find alternate exits to ways that you did not come in, like you're looking and kind of doing that whole pre-flight theater thing where you're identifying your exits in case of a fire, you can roll an idea or a spot hidden for me with that, as one of them is... once again, same thing I said for Kate. Spot hidden gives you surface information. An idea might give you something else. I'll allow one.
Pretty good idea. Hard success.
Yeah, the idea serves you well, as you believe that one of these curtained containers, if you know your basic kind of layout and architecture, probably has a stairwell if it's matching the one that you came up. So almost kind of like an offset, the castle has a symmetry to it. You think that probably the closed curtain area directly across from you, the one that does not have Greta in it, probably also contains whatever it has in it, plus a stairwell on the far wall.
Tremendous assumptions to make. He's folded his old dress he was wearing away, wiped his makeup off, has the new Dietrich garb on, is keeping the dress with him, because you always need a disguise. I suppose waiting to hear about Greta or from the rest of his friends.
It's about almost exactly 10 minutes after you were placed in here alone when the curtain opens and a Dietrich walks in. Herr Sawyer, we have been told talking to you would be pointless, so I am here to simply observe.
No, you roll out the red carpet, but you do know how to make a man feel like an animal trapped inside of a cage.
He jerks the curtain open. You may leave at any time. You are not in a cage, Herr Sawyer.
Now, why in the world would talking to me be pointless? That's all I can do.
And
Now,
here we are talking.
You, on the other hand, a man with 100 faces, being able to assume whatever role he wishes, living in a big cozy castle, relying on no one but himself. Color me green, my dear friend, because I am envious.
This particular Dietrich is wearing what looks like a hunting jacket with patches on both of the shoulders and the elbows. His hair is longer but slicked straight back, and he has a thin mustache that goes over his upper lip. Is this to get a rise out of me? The Jerry turn. I will go along. How dare you calling me Jerry? There, yeah. We have been warned of you, Herr Sawyer. Your powers of compulsion and persuasion and charm These are legendary as much as it is the abilities of Dr. Greta von Krauss, Miss Ives, and the Aviatrix.
Legendary only because I want you to think so.
And again, we talk.
So, what comes next after patching up the dock?
I, however, am allowed to talk, but it must be only on one subject, as I am not allowed to be diverted. They felt that I was the best of us for the job. So, I am here to tell you the following. If you are ever caught by the Germans or Caduceus, you will be killed immediately. They do not wish you. They do not wish the headache that you would cause them, or the headache that Kate O'Callahan would cause them. They feel that anything that can be gleaned from you can be gleaned posthumously from your corpse. So, I am not good with the persuasion or the charm, so they thought that I would be the best to come in here and tell you. I guess I am the blunt one. If you are caught, you will be killed. We wish you no ill will, but we also do not wish to be tempted into the Pied Piper. You're familiar with this story. He blows only, he has a flute or some type of instrument, plays it, rats come out. So that makes us the rats, but there's a number of us, so analogy sticks.
Well, very good at avoiding my question.
I am the blunt one.
Instantly kill Miss Katie or me. Well, good to know. Mr. Dietrich, good to know. I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon, though. You see, I have a secret weapon I haven't told any of my friends about. And,
here we go. Yes. I get to hear this information before your friends. This should be a hoot. Well, then I am tempted with it. Oh, I shall go to sleep wondering what this information is. If you were to tell one of your companions this juicy bit of information, would it be Dr. Greta von Krauss?
No, I think if any one of them figured out my little ploy, it wouldn't work. So just trying to make it that you can sleep at night, friend, that you don't gotta worry about someone like me.
So this is something that must be kept from your friends, because if they were to be made aware of it, they would ruin your secret weapon?
Yes.
So seems like a terrible weapon to me, but, run with it if it is something that allows you to sleep. So,
this is gonna be fun.
I am having a hoot. Most fun I've had in months. Is there anything else that we can get you here, Sawyer? Your companions are being dealt with.
Aside from my companions, I can look after myself. Just let me know when I can see them.
Well, sure. Is that your preference to take care of yourself? Is it something that, is there one in particular you would like to see? I know that you cannot tell them anything. There's no one that you trust among your group, but if there's one of them that you would wish to see and perhaps put a face on for them and share their company, which one would that be? I will arrange for them to be by.
Now, this is sounding like a hoot, isn't it? If you're the blunt one, just come out and ask me straight to my face. What is it you're trying to glean here?
If we are to put you somewhere into a room, and you wish to stay in the room, and you wish to be alone, you will be alone. If you wish to see one of your friends, then we will bring them by, or you can go with them. One of us has to stay with you all for your own safety.
Oh, for all safety, I'm sure. Especially with the likes of Katie running around.
We have been warned about her. I chose to talk with you. The clothing one drew the short straw.
And here I thought it was about just the good choice in mustache.
Ah. No, flattery. That is something I could get on board with.
I would like to speak to Greta and Katie. No rush, of course, as long as everyone's safe.
Sure, sure. So would you like to see a room as we have prepared for you? Or would you like to stay here? It's up to you. You have the ability to go wherever you would wish. Yes, so I am.
I will allow you the honor of playing great host and showing me around.
Then I will offer you my arm, and we will skip to Malou.
He will go grab his arm even if he's not offering it.
He is. And he proceeds to take... He is not skipping to Malou. It is, of course, just a saying. But he does lead you down a floor below to a very nice room with one bed in it and a desk, a lamp. Everything seems to be gas-powered in here. And as he presents it to you, he says, "The room of Herr Sawyer." And we are going to cut back upstairs to Dr. Greta von Krause, who is in the same infirmary wing that we left, Elijah just left. And Dr. Dietrich is finishing up administering everything. And Greta, without a roll, you can already tell that the several splashes of third-degree burn that you had they look awful. They've crusted over, but they are not weeping. The flesh seems to be red, but not flaking. If you are in your right mind, and you believe to be in your right mind, you believe that you no longer have third-degree burns, and if anything, you're suffering from just flash burns.
Interesting. Greta would find this very interesting indeed. She'd kind of be examining it a little bit. Very interesting how this serum works in comparison to my own.
I would very much like to see it, your serum in work. We have heard, if you have the opportunity, everything, the samples I have left you, and he indicates that pile of clothing, and with the test tubes on top of it again. I can leave you if you would like to. If you would like to try to sit up, we will, give you your privacy, and with your privacy, we will. I would just wait outside the curtain.
Right, I will. She'll try to sit up. It's probably still painful, but she's not dying.
Yeah, I mean, the burns weren't just it. I mean, you were blown up, you were kicked, you were shot.
There was a lot.
Yeah, but all of these major wounds seem to have receded to the point where you're incredibly sore, but you know right away that you're, not doing any additional damage to yourself. You're not reopening wounds. You're not pulling stitches or anything like that. But by God, you feel like you've been hit by the half-track that exploded.
Okay. So she's just kind of this is very good. This is good. Yeah. Whew. Believe that it would be... I would very much like to look at these serum samples.
I can take you down to the lab if you wish.
Ja, bitte. Dankeschön.
He goes and he kind of pulls the curtain and he steps out and he looks back through the curtain and he's like, I can hear you from outside here. Just if you need anything, you can still hear me. I'll be right out here.
That is how curtains work, yeah?
Yeah, I'm just nervous a bit. I mean, it's just, well, I'm fine.
She's just gonna let that be. Let him trail off awkwardly to himself. So there was a change of clothes in here for Greta.
Roll a listen check, Greta.
Okay. This is probably not gonna go well. No, I don't hear anything.
You hear two identically pitched voices, and it seems like you can't make anything out, but you hear and that's it.
Okay. All right. So I guess she'll very gingerly put on whatever has been provided, because she doesn't want to disrupt anything, any of the healing or scabs or anything.
Right, and it's odd. As soon as you start to move around, it's almost like the surface of like spilled candle wax. It
Yeah,
starts
it's
to
all
like
cracking.
it
Mhm.
cracks and starts to kind of drift and flake off as you start to move. The flesh is very new beneath it, very red. But again, it's not bleeding, it's not weeping, it's not doing anything that a typical wound of that nature would be doing.
She can kind of like poke at it gingerly a little bit and kind of look for her doctor's bag. Write something down.
It would be provided.
Yeah. Pull out her notebook, write down her observations from this, and then, pick up the samples and then, like, open the curtain. The lab?
He gets kind of shocked for a second, and you see another Dietrich standing there. It seems to be the one that you, whether or not you remember it or not, it's the Dietrich with the very long hair that's about like mid or down to his like the end of his sternum, with the long like 3-4 inch beard. And as soon as you pop out, he goes, yeah, you'll get to it, and walks off. And the Dr. Dietrich is like, I will help you now. Yes, the lab. And he takes him down, or he kind of points you in the right direction, offers you an arm, just kind of walking almost behind you, like in case you were to stumble, he's ready. A couple of the other Dietrichs you do notice kind of pass a gaze your way, but they don't linger too long. But it seems that Dr. Dietrich was correct in that the story of Dr. Greta von Krauss being part of this castle has percolated through the dominion of Dietrich, and everyone seems to know that was a possibility. But as you're being taken down to the laboratory, you actually are taken up a floor to the 3rd floor with the laboratory. Up there you see that this is part laboratory, part astronomy lab, as it opens up into you can see that there's a retractable roof. A massive telescope for the age is over on one side, and it seems to be able to take in at least 3/4 of the sky, depending upon time of year. But the lab in front of you is the lab of your dreams, as there are several Dietrichs that are currently working there in like the clean suits of the day. You can even see that they have areas that are it would be rudimentary in today's age, but they have made clean rooms inside this castle. As you can see through the almost opaque plastic sheeting, you see them walking and hear the slip of the as they're going around in these plastic outfits. You see that there is every conceivable periodic wonder in the area as various experiments are being tested, refined, or theorized, as the crew of 7 Dietrichs all sit there, and as soon as you walk in, they turn, they look, and those that are able to, as some of them do not wish to contaminate or do anything like that, offer a slow clap as Dr. Greta von Krauss, the person that has pioneered so much, has entered their laboratory. And
She kind of doesn't know what to do there. She's just standing there kind of gingerly. She'll just kind of give them a nod. She said, hello?
as one, they all say, hello! And it sounds just like that. We're going to cut back as Dr. Dietrich is standing there. He seems to be very proud of how things are working out. And he turns and looks and nods almost eagerly, and he says, see, I told you, it's a fairly decent laboratory.
Das ist a wunderbar Laboratory.
She said it was wunderbar! And they all, everybody cheers, and then, yeah. So with that, we're going to cut back down to the infirmary, as over in the corner we have the smoking and the drinking that's going on with Bald Dietrich and is going on with Dwight Burke. So,
Listen, Jack. 45. Sound of a 45.
I will let you know when the shots go off. There was eating downstairs that kind of extended that time frame. We are rushing the rest of you up. But anyway, musician, what can I get you? I have to stay with you, but perhaps there's something.
You don't have to stay with me.
Yes, I do. You've received orders yourself. I have received orders myself, and my orders are to entertain the sniper.
Oh, well, that's nice to know.
It's a good one. You're a soldier. I'm a soldier. It's we share similar. We're drinking. It's not bad.
I'm out of cigarettes. Can I get a cigarette?
Yeah. And he pulls out the long box of cigarettes that he has, and he opens it and offers you an unfiltered German brand.
Yeah, Dwight kind of looks at that. You know, I used to take them off Germans' dead bodies.
Yeah, me too. In fact, I got these off a German's dead body. Nothing better than corpse cigarettes. They taste twice as sweet because someone else is not smoking yours. Ha! Because then you'd be dead too. See, so
you could trade these.
Why would you trade them?
We gambled them. You ever play poker?
Yeah, but how am I going to do it here? We all play the same way.
Where was your? I don't even understand you. I don't understand any of you.
Well, that's nice, but
I don't know how you exist.
Philosophically,
I don't know how you exist. I don't understand this.
It's a mystery.
I don't understand any of this.
Well, you see, on the seventh day, God created man, and there was this wonderful garden.
You're an abomination.
Well, you're an abomination. I mean, we could cast names all day.
I'm not an abomination. You guys are abominations.
What makes us abominations?
Really?
Because there are many of us? Does that make
What did your boss do in the war?
Your father?
Boss, your father, whatever you called him, Dietrich.
In the Great War?
In the Great War.
He
Where
worked
was he?
He was all over. He worked with a group very similar to your own.
What group do you think that I work with?
You are Olympians. Dun dun dun.
We're not Olympians.
Then I read the wrong file.
You did.
And I'm not the one that likes to read.
You read the very wrong file.
Then what are you? A musician?
No. I just told you a joke. We're jesters.
Court gestures.
Oh, the highest cosmic order.
Oh, then the cosmos is in deep trouble. But
let me tell you what we did in Germany.
Sure.
Let's start by saying that even myself, I went out thinking, oh, I've got this. So I decided to march right into the Reichstag, not speaking a lick of German, and immediately got caught.
Am I supposed to? This is supposed to be.
Hold on, I'm trying to tell you how much of a jesters we are. I told you, we're not Olympians.
You sound suicidal, but that's.
We are very suicidal, very stupid.
It's nothing funny about that.
So I decided that I was going to march into there, and I immediately got caught. And by some dumb luck, I grabbed the necklace. Don't ask me. Disappeared. I mean, continual
wasn't going
fucking
to
nonsense that goes on since I've met Jack Kilgrave.
Jacques.
So we get back and we decide that we're gonna dress up like clowns and march into a museum.
I like your haircut, though. It's.
Thank you. So we walk into the museum. We have one particular objective as a unit.
And I'm aware of objectives?
You're aware of what happened?
I'm aware of objectives. I am also a soldier.
We immediately find this woman named Schmidt. And lo and
Uh,
behold, some
Maxine Schmidt.
fucking great wind befalls us. She
Some
wants to
great
come
wind.
she wants to come with us. She wants to come with us. She's actually giving us information. I mean, unbelievably, she gives us information.
Yeah, so far so good.
Yeah, great. Well, she gets paralyzed, and we get attacked by a bunch of fucking Nazi Germans. So, what we decide to do instead of taking her with us,
Describes these Germans. May I interject, or is this a monologue? Is this...
Albenschleitzen, Schlupen, whatever the fuck his name is. The
He
big
spits.
fucker.
He spits some tobacco and spit out on the floor. Ludolf von Alvenschlieben. He is penis prick.
Dwight's face doesn't even care. No concern. He's a this big fuck who we're there to find information about. We continue. We decide instead of taking her with us, somebody actually willing to help us for once, we decide to shoot in the head.
She's dead.
Probably.
Did you see her die?
No, I did not.
Roll spot hidden.
Successful.
You see him as he pulls his cigarette up to his lips. For a moment, his eyes glance over your left shoulder. They quickly return to your face.
Dwight would instinctively turn to see what he's looking at. He doesn't care about underneath things. He cares about anything surface.
You would just see the Dietrich with the long hair and beard walking in the opposite direction.
Like he's listening. Ear hustling.
Gotcha.
There you go.
You
You're a
son of a-
karate kid. There you go, fucking Miyagi.
One shot, baby. Did you see
Yeah,
that shit?
that's awesome. That was fucking great.
Fucking absolutely.
You're damn near fucking Miyagi there. Yeah. He's like, we're not. The point I'm trying to make is the continual. So then we get in this fucking cloud, and the one fucking little instance of happiness that I had is ripped from me. And now I've lived now in my fucking skull, I've lived 2 lives.
Who ripped you from your happiness?
Lancaster. Tell me about Lancaster.
Ah,
How does he fit into this fucking retarded circle that I've got myself into?
well, he is... You should really talk to the father about this, but you the soldier, and I'll give it to you. He is a weapon tool.
From who?
Caduceus. He works with them. He's the one that gets his hands dirty. He's responsible. Get in line.
This is the point that I want to get from you.
Sure.
You know how many people have sat down before me in the past 20 years and drank with me and asked me questions about lots of things? Who do you want me to kill?
Who do I want you? I am no conductor musician.
No, you want me to kill. There's obviously words that you have purpose for us. I'm not stupid. Everybody uses. Who do you want us to kill? Why are we here?
He takes a long pull off of the cigarette, and as he pulls it off, he doesn't even bother to flick the ash as it just drops from the movement of the air. You know, they said I wouldn't like you. That we would clash or we would end up killing one another, but
That's
do
not
like you.
over yet.
Then I do really like you. Let me take you down to the father. And at this point, without a listen check, you hear 3 45 shots go off. And
Dwight pulls a fucking gun right on him.
I did not do
He
that.
knows 45s. He knows K45. He would know that sound instantly.
That was a 45. Let us go investigate. Does that sound good to you? I do not hear any return fire. I do not hear alarms. We are not under attack.
He's got his hands up, but can the white spot hidden around him?
Yeah.
Success.
You'll notice that there are several Dietrichs always kind of aware around in the area. They all turn and look in the direction of you and the soldier. None of them are armed, though. None of them seem to be, like, rushing anywhere either after the sounds of the shots.
Weapons on him, in front of him? Any kind of sense that he could get
The bald Dietrich has a sidearm.
Okay. Luger?
He also has a rifle that's up against the wall. He is not reaching for it, though.
Okay, well, apparently my rifle would probably be, he'd probably be the same thing. It would probably be against the wall.
So, let us... You walk behind, I will walk in front, and I will lead, and you will have your weapon on me, and we will go see what's going on. And if you don't like anything, soldier, you can shoot me. I'd prefer if you did not, but you could shoot me.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do.
If you do shoot me, make sure you take my cigarettes. And as we cut from that scene, we go back to the shower areas as Sabella Ives, you are either finishing in the middle of, I don't know where you are. The showers are yours, and Poet Dietrich is waiting for you, I believe. Or did you already get done last time? I can't remember that.
They were
No.
still talking.
I never
Oh.
went into the shower, Greg. I
Oh.
went once, and we ended with the book reading.
Okay, so yeah, you would have the book reading, and he indicates the showers are yours. I will make sure that no one comes in.
Why do you have this, Joseph?
Um,
And I flip open the book to where I know the bookmark is.
how did that get there? No.
Right.
I liked it.
You said you didn't know much about me, but you
don't.
have a picture and you have demonstrated you know how psychometry works and that I was being blocked. So exactly how much do you know?
I know files and observations. I was not lying. I don't know you. We've never met. I don't know what you like or what books you like to read when you've read them all.
Do you want to know my favorite Yeats poem?
Yeah.
All right, well, you can read it while I shower. I flip to a page in the collection and leave the bookmark there. I'll be right back.
Take your time. We have plenty of hot water. I think I'm in it.
What?
Yeah. It's not the right expression. I will wait here.
Right. Yeah, no, you're fine.
Okay, so you go in and you're taking your shower.
Yeah.
What is the poem that you have given him?
The Ragged Wood. Yep. Which is a short one. I think it's like 3 verses long. And I'm not reading it to him. I just gave him the book, but we'll just do the last 4 lines. It goes, Oh, hurry to the ragged wood, for there I will drive all those lovers out and cry, oh, my share of the world, oh, yellow hair, no one has ever loved but you and I. Then I finish my shower.
He's waiting for you when you come out.
Did I get clothes?
Yeah, there's a whole
Okay.
bunch of stuff waiting for you when you
Great.
come out.
Perfect.
Yeah. So please pick whatever you would like. I'll be just outside.
Hold on.
Yeah.
If you'll permit, I mostly feel nothing but resentment right now for someone I cared very much about. And I'd like to feel something else. And I kind of hold out my hand toward him.
Roll a persuasion, charm, or fast talk with advantage as...
I guess I should roll it. Nah, I'm critting it. Where's my pen?
Okie dokie.
Oops. There.
Okay. So, as soon as you put up your hand, he starts walking, inching towards it, and he's not lifting his hand to touch it. He's extending his kind of like stubbled cheek towards your hand, and he locks eyes with you, and he says, "Come away, human child, to the woodlands and the wild, with a fairy hand in hand, for this world is more full of weeping than you can understand." And he puts his jaw in your hand.
Cool. Yep, that's where it is.
So...
Oh. Yeah. I bring my other hand up too, and I step really close to him, and I do what's the best? And I kiss him. Goodbye.
Now, as you go to kiss him, just as your lips touch, I'm assuming she can hear, just as your lips touch his, 3 gunshots erupt from deeper inside the castle. As you react, I'm assuming, to the sound of gunfire, he does not. It's as if he did not hear anything. And when you pull back, I'm assuming, I don't want to, you have player agency here. Does she pull back upon hearing the shots?
Not right away.
Okay. Well, yeah, he's not going to do anything until...
Okay, sure, yeah, maybe I should.
It's not
yes. Quick, it's just like, oh, I wonder if that's Dwight or Katie.
As soon as you pull back, he goes, what did I do wrong? Was there something wrong?
No. And I kiss him again.
I could work on it. And then, okay. So, okay, so Sabella is en route, everybody. She's charging to the rescue. As I would like to know, at this point, Greta, you are up in the lab and you hear 3 shots go off. Dwight has already heard 3 shots go off. Elijah, you are in your room and you hear 3 shots go off. Without listen checks, you guys are able to identify the direction in which it came, and your accompanying Dietrich would be able to take you towards the sound. All I need to know is whether or not you are going or whether or not you are staying put.
Elijah's going. He plops down on the edge of the bed in the room and sighs. You know, I haven't gotten a chance to actually sit down before, and then the gunshots will go off.
Wow, how's
All
that
right.
for timing, right?
I'll cry some other time. Hops up on his feet.
Blunt Dietrich offers his arm again. I can take you where it's coming from.
Why not?
And we're off to see the wizard, and which is not out yet. But as you guys, I don't think, as you guys go, Dwight, you're already en route. Greta, I know you've just seen the lab, right?
This lab she just walked into. It's hilarious. She ain't going. She knows it's Dwight or Kate, but I think she'd be more inclined to believe it's Kate. And she's just like, no, I'm not going anywhere near where she's firing a gun, because the last time that happened, I got hit by a tank explosion. So we're just gonna stay in this lab and science with 7 other Dietrichs.
Okay, so Dwight and Elijah rushing towards the gunfire. Sabella in the arms of a Dietrich. Greta in the arms of her laboratory, finally. So let's cut back to the galley as an Olympian and a former Olympian are sharing a cup of coffee. At moments later, Dwight would be ushered in. He'd be leading in Bald Dietrich, and skipping to their loo, Blunt Dietrich and Elijah would arrive seconds later. Ah, says Dietrich Prime. Have a seat. We will all talk about, what is this things that we should talk about? Have a seat, everyone. You can see Kate is fine. I'm fine. We are all fine here.
Despite my best attempts. Gentlemen, y'all are all right, I assume?
Came running as soon as we heard the signal.
And you, Mr. Burke?
The way kind of spot hidden on the room to see if it's all kosher.
I'll give this one to you. Yeah,
Okay.
you're good.
He kind of pushes past the Bald Dietrich now that the boss is there, I guess.
Yes, Bald and Blunt Dietrich will kind of back up and just kind of hang out along the wall.
He pulls out the rosary and throws it at Dietrich Prime. Here, you can have that back.
He catches it, puts it in his pocket. Shame. Could use it. Have you given up God as well, Mr. Buck?
Mr. Dietrich, are we here to discuss theology, or do you have something of actual interest to share with us?
Yes, of course. You were to come here. This is where you were supposed to end up. I was unaware that you would be arriving now, but it's good. It is time that we join forces.
Oh wait, you're serious, aren't you?
I'm very serious.
Well, I think maybe you better come up with a better idea, because, well, that ain't happening anytime soon.
Kate, how did we end up here?
You were
We
brought
ended
here,
up
Mr. Burke.
That's right. We've
By
been having
who?
our strings pulled, like we have from the very beginning.
I am not on the other end of those strings.
So you didn't bring us here then, is that what you're saying?
That is what I am saying, yes.
Then who did?
Well, that is the question, isn't it? You all have, made a friend.
Perhaps.
I think that this friend would be... I think this friend wishes us to be friends.
What in the fuck are you talking about? Just get to the point. What do you want from us? He points at Bald Dietrich. I asked him, and he told me, "You tell us." I've been in this scenario before. What do you want?
I think it is time that we joined forces.
As in,
If he looks around, as in, we are on the same side of a conflict. We wear the same uniform. We
Yeah.
cheer for the same team.
Well, then, Mr. Dietrich, it is in my best interest to wish you the best of luck. But we're done playing your game.
It is not
And at
my
that-
game.
Kate gets up and starts walking back toward the stairs. Gentlemen,
Captain, I have a question. Maybe a little over my head. That is where you like to be, but what is the end goal here? Exactly.
from the foot of the steps, Kate she's on the first step at this point, turns around and puts her hands on her hips. Well, Mr. Sawyer, it's the same as it's always been. I just can't imagine that playing along with this, and she kind of motions toward Prime, person is in our best interest, or our country's best interest for that matter.
Dwight laughs at that.
Joseph, you say you want us to be on the same team. Presumably the other team is caduceus.
They're at the top.
O'Callahan, he needs to tell us what he wants us to do. What do you want us to do? Just say it. It's not about being on the same team. Just tell us what you want from us.
I see that this is going poorly. So instead of telling you, Herr Buck, I believe it is time I showed you. I'd like all of you to make a power check, including Sabella and Greta.
I wasn't allowed.
Yes, you were.
Hard success.
Power check.
I failed.
Actually
Hard
succeeded.
success.
I'm distracted.
Elijah.
Somebody got extreme. Who got extreme?
Katie.
Should I
No,
already?
nice.
That's my extreme.
There you go.
Should I use luck? Should I use some luck? Maybe. Sure. I'll use 4 points of luck.
Sure, yeah, you can
I think
lose.
I got a
Yeah.
hard success. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you
I
did get up.
mixed
Me and you got hard successes.
Nice. Okay.
Okay, so
You're distracted.
in everybody succeeding on the power check, you do not pass out as you blink away from where you were, and you blink again into a darkened area. Now, this is not like supernaturally darkened. It looks as if this is a room, It has the same markings as the castle. It has the same flooring, the same walls, the same ceiling, the same kind of low, kind of recessed, like lamplight that's casting organic and non-static shadows everywhere. But you guys are all alone, with the exception of Dietrich Prime.
With the extreme, could I have resisted this sort of transportation or whatever it is?
No, because you are in the lair of Joseph Dietrich.
This is a lair action. It just happens.
Sure thing.
Kate reaches up to that medallion that Jack Parsons left her, and just sort of absent-mindedly takes it into her fingers. Do I notice anything special or interesting? Is it reacting in any way to being where we are?
I will allow you to make an occult roll here, as that's your action for right now. As Dietrich Prime says, I do not wish to... you are never going to believe me. I was hoping that maybe I could have saved you from this, but you have to learn the way that I learned. This is my hell. I can help save this world, but I need you all. You have to see what is going to happen if we do not work together.
We're all alone with him, right?
Yeah.
Greta's just gonna give like before he even speaks, just a long, sad, tired, pained sigh.
And everyone is here?
Yeah.
We're all alone. But everyone's
Goddamn worms.
Dietrich is going to turn and motion towards the opposite side of this space. You may either continue to look at Joseph Dietrich, or you can look in the direction that he's indicating.
Dwight wants answers, because this is becoming ridiculous to him in his mind. So he's going to look that way.
Everyone else?
Same.
Elijah's kind of looking at Dietrich exasperated like,
I think Greta would be too.
the shit
She's so tired and done.
I wouldn't believe the shit I've seen if I told me. Dietrich, can I just take your word for it at this point?
It's almost exactly what I was gonna say.
I wish you could, Herr Sawyer, but what is it they say? A picture is worth 1,000 words.
I do not like American things.
Nor do I, but this one is apt.
Hopefully your picture can get it through Katie's thick skull.
Did you say that out loud?
We're not all together. We're all alone.
Okay.
No, you guys are all together. You're all it together.
Together. We're all together.
He heard
We're all
you say
together.
that.
You said
Yes,
you
that's
were
what I'm
all
saying. We're
alone.
together.
Yeah,
We're not
you're
alone. We're together.
you guys-
There's no other Dietrichs.
Yeah, you guys are alone
Right.
in that you're
Right.
alone with Dietrich.
Yeah.
You're not one-on-one
Yeah.
with Dietrich
Alone
Prime.
with Dietrich.
You said it
Not
out loud.
The group is alone with Dietrich.
Smack him.
That's a
Smack
completely
him.
different story.
I misunderstood.
Ah.
We're misunderstood.
Yeah.
This is-
Oh,
Says
okay.
that
Listen, that's fine. Yeah, you can retcon that. That's not a problem. Go right ahead.
I didn't misunderstand.
There needs to be a point to this in Dwight's mind.
Maybe I was
Okay.
just hopeful when he said alone with Dietrich. I don't know. Whatever. It's fine.
Okay, kids, who's looking?
Yeah. If I'm a worm, I'm gonna be upset. Yes.
Okay,
We've already
so
seen the worm, me and you.
if you are still looking at Joseph Dietrich or Dietrich Prime, he disappears. If you are looking in the opposite direction, you see the following. The light rises as it would maybe in a poorly lit theater, one of a half century ago, that's powered by fuel and fire instead of electrical light. And as this slow light rises, you see a figure facing away from you. Normal height, if very thin, wearing gray clothing. The skin of this man is as gray as the clothing in which he is wearing. Everything is pallid, everything is colorless, except for a Star of David that is emblazoned yellow and stitched to this prisoner's outfit. And without turning, the man's arms extend out to either side, and you hear music, a horrible music, begin to play. I would like each of you to roll a d10. I got you, Steve. The results of your D10s, it's the amount of sanity that you lose when you see this creature. And when you hear these words and hear this music, the following begins. To recap, since those were rolled very quickly, that is a Sabella with a 9-point loss, Lindy or Greta with a 9-point loss, Elijah with a 3-point loss, and Dwight with a 1-point loss, and Kate, what was yours? 4? 4. So with that mechanical sanity loss, we are not doing temporary insanities. This is an instantaneous attack on the mind. And as the music begins to play, you see the following. You see visions of genocide. You see Auschwitz and Buchenwald and Dachau and Chicago and Toronto and Leeds. As men and women across the world are led to their deaths. And at each of these places, each of these camps, Joseph Dietrich presides. He laughs, many of his mirrors ushering people to their deaths. Behind them you see great beasts like the ones that you have witnessed in your adventures, these worms that attacked New York City. They are outfitted in armor. They have zeppelins that are attached to their backs as if docking with the great beasts. You see the gugs that chased your truck with a platform on its back, a howitzer mounted behind it like some odd backpack or flagpole. Joseph Dietrichs are everywhere, manning the zeppelins, manning the howitzers, ushering the people into the camps. And as the music begins to play again, I need you all to make power checks.
I think it's a nat 20 on that one there, Greg.
Yeah. Same.
Success for Elijah.
Hard success for Katie.
Success.
Okay. With all of these successes, anybody get an extreme success out of the rolled power rolls? No.
Nope.
Anybody that did not get an extreme, the crits count as extremes. You each take 1 additional sanity loss as these projections of the future begin to eat into you. And as this man, this conductor of madness begins to weave this tale further and further, you see that these Dietrichs are not of their own volition. You see them being ordered about. You see Meadham, Lancaster, Hitler, Goering, Rommel, Ludolf von Alvenschleben. All of them are taking a direct effect and control of this planet. And everywhere they are reaching. And as the conductor of madness continues the song, you see the purple nowhere. And you see that it is being tethered by devices wrought by these Dietrichs, by Alvenschleben. You don't know who built them, but you know who built them. They are using it as one would pen an animal for milk or meat. And they are bringing things through it against its will. Things from the lower planes. And they are trying to bring in things from the higher planes. I need everyone to roll another power check, please.
I'm using another crit.
I'll go ahead and crit that one.
Extreme.
Hard success.
Extreme.
Okay, anybody that extremed, you don't take anything. Who was the fail from?
That was my second roll. I get
Your second
advantage
roll,
on power.
okay.
So my first was a hard success.
Okay, hard. That's one more point for Kate of sanity loss. And let's see, we had crits from everybody else. Yes, right? Yes, right? Yes.
I rolled a crit. All right, extreme.
Or, yeah, Dwight rolled extreme.
Right.
Me, Elijah, and Spellos hit crits.
That's what I needed. Yep. Okay. Okay, so everybody with a crit or an extreme, and then Kate, I think you're the only person that took a point of sanity there. As it continues, you see the eradication of not just your loved ones. None of them are apparent. You don't see the death of anybody that you've encountered before. You don't see your loved ones being led to their doom. Instead, you see humanity being led to its doom. Children of all races, men and women of all races, being sent and eradicated, not just in these camps, but fed to these base creatures of the lower realms. And you see that this mass sacrifice, this mass murder, this genocide has a purpose. It is a sacrifice similar to what the ancient religions of South America would used to do. They would sacrifice until their gods answered. And it seems with the help or the servitude of the Purple Nowhere, something is going to answer. And you all snap out of it. And the man's arms lower. And without turning, you see the gray hand reach into his pocket, against his chest, and pulls out a sheet of music. And he lets it drop as it flutters to the ground. And even from this distance, you can see that the notes depict no song that any composer would put together, but is one riddled with madness and insanity. It is the one that you just heard. It is the story of Earth's future, should events not change. And he slowly fades.
I kept wondering
And you-
why you saying called musician.
And you all appear back in the galley.
All in the galley, not in the lab.
Yeah, you are all in the galley. Dietrich Prime is there, and he says, I am sorry.
Yes. You are. And Kate keeps walking up the stairs. Looks back over her shoulder to see the others.
Katie, where are you going?
It's a lot to digest. We'll be up to talk in a minute.
I'm sorry, Mr. Sawyer?
If you want to walk upstairs, go right ahead.
We completely believe what we saw.
Do you?
You all succeeded in your power checks. You could have seen through any illusion. This seems to have been prophecy.
Why does this change anything?
How could it not?
So y'all think we just need to slide into bed with this fella, and that's gonna fix everything? That's how we save the world?
No, not at all. Just when someone offers you a bed, you don't spit in their face. If we say we're gonna help him or say we're not gonna help him, that don't matter.
He certainly knows more than we do.
What do we need to do?
We need to fight them. We need to kill every one of the things that came from me. And then you must kill me.
Kate sits down on the steps and kind of puts her elbows on her knees and says, well, Mr. Dietrich, it looks like you're in charge of the Olympians now.
Kate, we need weapons.
He...
We need to be able to kill these fucking things.
Mr. Burke, I believe that your commanding officer was about to speak. Go ahead, Mr. Dietrich.
I have never been a leader, Miss O'Callahan. When I was Olympian, I was part of a team. A great team. And I failed them. I failed them all.
I rifle through my bag real quick and pull out the photograph I took from his bedside, and I hand it to him. Thought you might like that.
These are my friends. I need Olympians. I don't need puppets. I have plenty of people that will follow my orders just because I'm the father. I need a team again.
Well, you got him, Mr. Dietrich. You got 4 of them right here, looks like.
He starts striding towards Kate O'Callahan. I am not a leader. Anytime I ever tried, my friends suffered.
Well, looks like a whole lot more than your friends are fixing to suffer.
He pulls up where you're kneeling or sitting. I need you, Kate O'Callahan. Not as a... I need you, Kate O'Callahan.
That is very unfortunate for you, sir.
Katie, please.
Kate.
What can I do to prove it to you?
Mr. Dietrich, there is not a thing in this world or any other world that I have seen that you can do to convince me that teaming up with you is the right thing for us or for our country or for this world. Now, it seems to me that we have similar goals. I propose that, and then she looks up at her 4 friends and shakes her head. You got your Olympians. They'll do what you ask. I'll go along and make sure that they don't suffer the same fate that your friends did. But that's what you get from me. And no more.
It will have to be enough. And that's where we'll end this episode of Project Athena. Check it up, Joseph. What? Jesus, you people. I agree with Lauren. I'm having a drink.
I haven't stopped.
I make the
Good
best
for you.
decisions.
All right, let's go from the top to the bottom in reverse order. Strider, hey, welcome back. Super happy fun time episode, bud. How are you
Called
doing?
it. Totally called it. Having fun. Elijah's headspace and his motivations and bonds with people. That's always what's going through my mind the entire time. And he was liking these people and growing close to him, but he's cranky right now. He's a ball of rage, and he is trying his best not to hate every single one of them. So, fun, man. I'm gonna be here next week. Elijah's gonna be here next week. This is the place to be. This is the only thing I'm doing right now. So, it's getting my whole undivided attention. Until then, we have a lot to talk about in our private chat.
You can talk about it in the regular chat. I can help.
No. I trust Joseph Dietrich more than I trust Greg.
Where's my Dietrich? I want to smooch one.
You got.
You had your chance, sweetheart. You had it.
Walking arm in arm. I mean, we're still at castle. Don't say chances are over yet.
That's right. And speaking of next or last chances, let's drop down to Steven. Steven, how are you doing tonight, buddy?
3 seasons. All I've thought about is how I can eliminate things, how I can kill eldritch hordes. Just give me the power. That's all he wants. Give him the ability and the tools. He's ready to do it. Are you ready to give it to me? That's my question.
I gave you the bullet. You fucked that up, though.
One fucking bullet. One bullet? Are you kidding?
You're the best sniper in the world. I thought that's all you needed.
Yeah, I am ready for tools. I'm ready for weapons. He's ready. He's ready to take on whatever you're gonna throw at him. He has the ability, but does he have the means?
Gotcha.
I'll leave it.
Okay. Alrighty. As we drop down to Cato Callahan, how are you doing tonight, Allison?
Hey, I'm doing great. I just hope Allison has a few more friends than Kate seems to have right now. Until next week, friends. You can catch me on Twitter, and there you can see all the other role-playing things that I'm doing. But this is the granddaddy of them all. It's all right here. It's all Sunday night. It's all these people. Love it. Love.
Nice. And perhaps, and I've never really said this or picked one person out, but I really do feel for Greta in that she didn't get a chance to she just got her to the lab. She's all beat to shit. So Lindy, forgive me, but how are you doing?
And she would have just accepted what he said, he literally would have had to show her nothing. And she'd have been like, oh yeah, okay, fine, I believe you. She's just so sad and so done at this point and tired and she's just really a mess right now. She needs a nap and some hugs. She's never gonna ask for hugs. She's just a sad ball of sad. Can't wait to see what happens next week on this wonderful show. And hopefully Greta can get into a better place soon. Because every time she's walked into a lab lately, it's been bad. She's like, finally! And then boom, and she's just like, again? Really? But you can find me online at Laugh Love Lindy on Twitch and Twitter, where I am doing much better and I'm much happier than Greta. Doing tons and tons and tons of tabletop games, D&D, Call of Cthulhu, other systems. I don't think I really have anything particular to plug this week, so just super fun stuff. Just follow my Twitter. That's where I post all my updates before I'm going live when.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so we're going to drop it off where we began it with Lauren. Lauren, how are you doing this fine Sunday evening?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm Steven's face. I think tonight, my just so many years of playing RPGs, so many. I think I've finally reached peak Lauren. I don't know where to go from here. I think I'm not gonna say the other word for peaking that I was thinking. Find me on Twitter @thatsaltyginger, where I'm very calm all the time, super normal. Next week I'm doing.
It was getting pretty close to that.
You can find me playing games with Greg for some Conan, noon on Friday here. Then we have our Valley of Soot and Skull finale on Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern over on the Greyhawk channel. It's so great. I'm so happy all the time. We'll see you next time.
We will see you next time, everybody. And once again, here are all of the Olympians. Please make sure you follow them. I've said it before, I'll say it again. All the people on this channel who have blessed me with playing on my stream are not just fantastic role players, they are fantastic human beings. This world needs fantastic. This world needs nice. Follow them, and you will have a little bit of it guaranteed in your day, which is nice. So, follow everybody. Please do so. We're always going to be here hanging out in 1933, trying to figure out exactly what we're going to need to do. But I'm going to make my Olympians happy a bit. We have 2 boons that are coming through for both Greta and Sabella. I will let you guys know what those are before the start of the next episode. I will also let you know that you have passed a milestone in, even though it's kind of a half-assed tentative agreement with Joseph Dietrich, you are all awarded 50 percentage points to disperse wherever you would like. So you guys may up your skills. Nope, I said percentage points. So as you are all sitting there, I will let you know that when we start our next episode, we are going to be flashing forward at least 2 weeks. So there's going to be plenty of time to tell me if there's something that you wanted to research, things you wanted to work in that badass laboratory, planes you wanted to acquire. Dietrich's will be there. You will meet more of them as
Greta's
the base.
Just gonna open her doctor's bag, and like a couple hands and some fingers and other things are gonna fall out. She's gonna be like, "Start on these."
And when
take a nap.
Right.
My spells.
Wait, did you say?
Ready to rumble?
Did you say planes?
Hands.
Right.
Yeah.
And I can only think that when Greta pours open her bag and all those parts come out, it's like that scene in The Goonies where all the Dr. Dietrichs like lean over like, ooh, when they see all.
Finally. Someone
Right.
else who's like,
Right.
"Oh wow,
Monty,
dismembered body
Bring
parts."
your fucking crazy shit upon us. We're ready.
No, you don't want to ask that because I've
right.
seen behind that vial.
I
Yes,
know,
by
I
the way,
already
everybody.
saw his little fucking mention.
Yes, Lord Conti came up with the Of Madness conductor. It's a fantastic image and it's perfect for Cthulhu in that it dealt and did something that I was going to have to use in a different way to convey this type of information. But it worked out perfectly. Everybody, please Take care of yourselves. 2018 is, I mean, let's just face it, it's dog shit. But we're going to be here waiting for you in 1933. All of us will be here. Make it through your day. Follow us on Twitter. We'll pretend to be the Olympians. I'll pretend to be well, follow them then, because I'm sort of an asshole regardless. We'll be here next week. Please join us again for the continuing adventures of Project Athena. See you guys later.